gets the football, and the Jags grab it. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off a game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
Joey Bosa in on the stop. On second down, here's Fournette. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal. For a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Here, Pick.
Now Foles. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Used to have a coach who tells us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Gordon. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. And this looks a lot like the last play. Behind the line of scrimmage, he's tackled for the 2nd straight go-around. Great job by this Jacksonville D.
2-yard loss on the play. It's 3rd and 11.
3rd and 11. And some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And that will be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
So they wound up passing on a long field goal try, but that works out for them really well. That one's down inside the 5-yard line.
And it's risky because your punter, if he puts it in the end zone, the net result not worth it, but there, I think worth it. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. A shotgun give to Fournette. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Tackled there by Rayshon Jenkins. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Foles. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Set 180, 190. Here we go. Left.
Running on first down, Eckler. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
From the 39, Rivers. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards there and a first down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, 26 yards. And the Chargers have taken the lead. Extra point by Badgley up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go!
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
Here's Foles. Escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. He'll drop to throw. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on 1st down. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
On 2nd down, Eckler, and he'll get it down here to the 43. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Now Gordon on 1st down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's not going to get me. Hey, I-7.
Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. He's going to look deep down the field. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, 41 yards. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. And if you blinked, you probably missed that touchdown drive. It happened in a hurry.
I was just putting mustard on my hot dog, and all of a sudden he's in the end zone. I've got to do a better job of paying attention for this quick strike offense.
I thought you were going to tell your wife about the hot dogs in the booth thing.
I just did, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You did. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points seeded.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Now Leonard Fournette. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there and a 1st down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That one goes for 24 yards.
Be alert, be alert.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. This is Fournette. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 16 yards, a 1st down. So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Now back to throw. This one caught over the middle. It's Oliver, the tight end. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of 6 there on 1st. They'll toss it to Fournette. And he may have given those 6 yards right back as they're going to get to him well behind the line. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. They'll drop the throw. That's out to his running back, Fournette. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their 1st timeout as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. Foles now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a third and long after that sack. A quick hitter complete. It's Lee. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number one. And Lambeau will put this one through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Charger drive about to get going. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Foles on target to Oliver, the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. A throw left side, complete to his receiver, Westbrook. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Foles now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're trying to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over.
And this is caught by Lee. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Marquise Lee there to make the grab as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. A first down throw here for Rivers. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. Fournette, a first down, still going. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Scampering home from 19 yards out. And once again, the Jaguars are back out in front. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Play fake, Rivers. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. Well, let's have some fun while we have a minute here. Fantasy drafts are in full swing. I know I've got my family fantasy draft coming up, Charles. Who would be your top 3 picks? I know that you're a noted fantasy football expert, so who would you take?
Well, you've got to start with guys who are going to touch the football and put it in the end zone, right? You got to score points. How about Saquon Barkley with the Giants? You know he's going to run it. He's going to catch it. When they get desperate, they may actually have him return it as well. Alvin Kamara is an absolute matchup nightmare for everyone. And Christian McCaffrey, did he ever come off the field last year? And, you know, this guy, he's a threat to be a 1,000-yard runner and a 1,000-yard receiver, as is Kamara. So this is going to be fun to watch. I can't wait to see those guys do their thing, but there are plenty of other guys out there, too. If Zeke comes along, you got to take him. Melvin Gordon, if they both come to camp. We'll see how that works out. How about Todd Gurley and his health? Because, boy, when he touches the ball, great things usually happen.
And then wondering, someone like Le'Veon Bell took the year off, now a new offense. But if he starts going like he used to, he's obviously going to be a good one.
Fresh legs is what you're counting on with Le'Veon Bell and a fresh start in New York with the Jets. And if you're looking for an exciting rookie, remember this. Kyler Murray's going to get the ball from the first snap, and they're going to leave him in there throughout. And as long as he stays healthy, he's going to pitch it around the park a bunch. Don't be surprised if he gets a little love, too.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
That defensive front four has been very good. They have just not let the running game get going, have they?
Not at all. In fact, the entire offense just looking a little bit out of sync in this one.
Yeah, sometimes this is why coaches like 4-down defensive linemen, they feel like they can cover more ground when defending the run.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
I can't believe they even let you play.
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Marcel Darius flies in at 331 pounds for the sack. And Allen's got it. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Fourth down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Gordon, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Rivers moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Josh Allen in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, just kicking a field goal there, that's a decision that could be open to second guessing. You know, you're trying to get back within a field goal, but it didn't work out as planned.
And now you're banking on your defense to be motivated enough to get out there and get the ball back for you. I think if that ball goes through the post, the defense is naturally motivated, even elevated in their mission. Now they've got to find a way to dig down deep and get it done.
Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Jaguars. Leonard Fournette, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. That's Yannick Ngakoue with a sack. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Rivers hands off to Eckler. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. A.J. Boye up to make the tackle. It's Eckler again. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. He's airing it out for Williams. This is caught inside the 15. And this will get him all the way inside of Jacksonville's 10. A big play there for L.A. 63 yards. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. 1st and goal, Melvin Gordon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Second down and goal. Rivers forced out to his left. And it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They give him a dozen on the pitch and catch, but now they're up against a 3rd and goal. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. And Gordon's going to be stopped short. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3 and out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll run with Fournette. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trust in his quarterback and trust in his offense.
Still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
I got you. Left.
Back to throw. It's complete right side to Benjamin. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Rivers to throw, and he is out of bounds inside the 30. Rivers to Benjamin, good for the Charger 1st down. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They had no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began, still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
He's going to let it fly, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
0. Hey, Rocket. Alert 3. Check 52.
On 2nd down, it's Gordon. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The Chargers on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Allen, the intended receiver. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Fournette on the toss to the right. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.